Thanks for everyone being here. Exciting to get this game underway. The MAC Conference Championship has to go through Kent, and that's this first one. We know this game's going to pave the way. We've really utilized our time to get ready for this game. We spent a great deal of time, studying film, watching these guys, really investing a lot of our coaches' time and our players in addition. But it's a great opportunity for us to showcase this great university on the ESPN. And the theme is the Sea of Blue on ESPNU, and we're excited about that. Kent State is a good football team. They play hard and they play fast, and they've got some playmakers on both sides of the ball, and that's what we've been studying. Our game plan is solid. I know that our kids are excited about this matchup. They do have a veteran group of guys. They've got a lot of juniors and seniors on their team. Their quarterback is a real solid player. He's only turned the ball over one time in 7 games. Manages the offense very well. They got a big running back, number 34, Durham, about 250-pound guy. He does a lot of inside tackle-to-tackle running, but to get the ball outside, they give it to Archer, number 1. He's their speed guy that gets out on the perimeter. They've got a solid group of offensive linemen that play very well, play hard, and do a good job in terms of what they ask them to do. Defensively, very good middle linebacker, Batten. He's excellent. They got a defensive lineman, Nix, who's a very active guy. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge. But I couldn't be more proud of this gentleman sitting next to me to my left. Steven, who's a defensive end, has really stepped up his leadership for our football team. And, it's a tremendous challenge he'll have Wednesday night along with all of our teammates. And we're looking forward to this matchup.
Do you like having it in the MAC opener broken up by non-conference games? Do you like having it earlier?
In terms of the game?
Yeah, earlier in the season.
Well, I mean, whether you play at the first game or the third game or the 5th game, we know that, the way the schedule comes out, Nick, is what it is. I mean, we utilize the time. There's no question. Since the Morgan State game and this game being on Wednesday, we've utilized that time. I think the good thing for us is we've had our 2 bulk heavy work days on Saturday and Sunday, which there was no classes. So we really took full advantage of that opportunity for our kids to be able to dig in. And then they got a chance to see some football. We spent a lot of time watching some great games over the weekend and gave our kids a chance to relax a little bit, get their legs up underneath them, and get ready because today's busy. It's the first day of class, and tomorrow's busy. And then the home team has to go to class till noon on game day. So our kids are going to have to be very, very focused and mature and in terms of trying to handle getting ready for 7 o'clock kickoff.
This game's on ESPN, obviously, but it's also the football game that's going on Wednesday. Does it give the guys even a little more excitement knowing that if you're watching football, you're pretty much watching Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very exciting for us to know that we're the only team on TV at that time, but like Coach said, we just going out there to play. We playing hard like we always do. We prepared. We've got all the preparation points, and I feel like we definitely going to go out there and showcase all our abilities.
Steve, John mentioned you were the only guy on the team who started that last time. I want you to reflect back a little bit. How different are you as a player and as a person from that 2009 game that you started against Kent?
Size first and foremost. I was probably still about like 229 at the time, but I was just out there just running around trying to make plays. But now I'm a more mature player, more bigger, physical student of the game, and now I'm just hungry. Like this year is my last year as a UB Bull. I hope to go to that next level, but right now my main focus is on beating Kent State. We beat them the last time I played them, and I hope to continue to do the same thing.
Have you seen that maturity process and learning to be more of a player benefit you and your ability to do more things on the field?
Yeah, most likely because I'm playing into the defense. I'm playing my role as a defensive end, and I'm not trying to do everybody else's job, and that's not conflicting with the defense and breaking down the defense. So yes.
Steve, can you talk to, Coach referenced it, about the importance of setting a tone here, in conference, because you have this one game kind of on the island, and then you go back out of conference again, and the last thing you want is what happened last year.
Yeah.
Ball State?
You know,
Well, on that.
for us to take this W, it'll be very, very important for us, because then we know, okay, now we got a chance to go ahead and prepare for the next game, but then we also got more time to prepare for the next conference opponent. But just to take this game would be very, very, very important for us in general, for our goal.
Is it kind of weird playing Kent State for the first time since you're a freshman, since they're a closer school to
No, I look at everybody as a faceless opponent, but we respect our opponents, but we fear no one, and that's something that coaches put into our heads, and it's something that I look very highly at.
Did they use two-back with Archer? How did they get him the ball?
They do a lot with him, out of the backfield, and then bring him back into the backfield. But they also line him up in the backfield. He's their big playmaker. Their last game against Kentucky, he busted a big run right up the gut, coming out of the backfield, so out of shotgun. So, we know that they have a good combination there with him and Durham, 34, and Archer, number 1. But he's the guy who's got the speed. I mean, he really shows up on film. So, we got to do a good job with, managing the, our gap control defense. We talked a lot about that. They got a good combination between 1 and 34.
What do you see from the quarterback, Jeff? I mean, he's started a lot of games there. He's an experienced guy. What style of player is he? What are the things that jumped out on you in film that you have to make sure you control?
They ask him to a lot of high control passing game, a lot of short throws, but he's allowed to check. If he sees it, they give him the option to run the ball or throw the ball based on what the defense gives you. We have to do a good job stemming and disguising and doing things to keep them off balance from that standpoint. But, the thing was, if you look at his early part of last season, when they were struggling a little bit, they were turning the ball over, and they pulled back what his role and responsibility is, and he's done a great job. I mean, he's only turned the ball over 1 time in 7 games, and which gives you a chance, obviously, every week. But good leader, and he's accurate with his throws, but they don't ask him to do too much, But he works within the system that they have in place.
Jeff, you got to figure Newt's is going to start seeing more and more attention as we go on here. Is it? When you look at the other wideouts, if you see more attention, is it important to get to them, or do the fact you've been able to get into the tight end so often kind of offset that? I mean, are you happy with that balance?
Well, the last 2 games that have been, I think getting the tight ends involved in our passing game is certainly a big plus for Alex, and then also with our running game and controlling the ball, we couldn't be more proud of the offensive line. I mean, Bo right now sits as 3rd in the nation as the top leading rusher, and Alex is one of the top receivers in terms of touchdowns per game. So, those are our playmaking guys. They have their guys, we have our guys, and the good thing is it's going to come down into the trenches. But I really like where Alex Nutz and Alex Zordich are. They're on the same page, but we have to be able to distribute the ball to other guys. I mean, Freddie Lee, Cordero Dixon. And we talked about Jimmy and Alex Dennison, Jimmy Gordon and Alex Dennison, being big key guys from that standpoint. And then, Devin Campbell and Bo Oliver and Brandon Murray. Those are the guys that are going to make a difference in terms of moving the chains and scoring. But we're not going to place everything on Alex Nutz. The good thing is we know if he gets the one-on-one coverage, he's shown and proven that he can come down with the big plays at critical times in a game.
When they're down a defensive back, they lost the DB in a Kentucky game. Do you adjust for that at all? Does that become a point of awareness?
Well, we always look at personnel, absolutely, and I don't think any coach in the country wouldn't be looking at that, and then we do. But, we have to structure our game plan according to the things that we feel we're best at. We got to have our personnel in the right place and executing the things that we do and that I feel. And it's been a tremendous game plan. I really like where we have really taken this offense. Now what we saw was against a great Georgia defense and you know, had a career day against a Morgan State. But the bottom line is you got to do that week in and week out, and that's the exciting thing. And that's what Zordich brings to the table. We talk about their quarterback. You know, I love our quarterback. Our quarterback has been, you know, chomping at the bit for this opportunity. Here's an Ohio kid. He's playing against another team in our league. But I like where Zordich's decision making is. He's very accurate with his throws. He's just doing a good job, and he brings others around him to a higher level. He brings those kids' level of play and intensity up. And same thing with Bo. And I think those are the keys to our offense being able to make some present some opportunities for us to score some points, so we keep our defense off the field and stay ahead of the game.
So you're not allowed to score as quick as you did in Morgan State.
We'll score every chance we can. You know, I don't care how long it takes. You know, but I think, you know, when you look at this defense and the ones we faced the last 2 weeks, you know, this is a very active defense. You know, Coach Haycock does a great job. He's been coaching a long time. They've got a veteran staff just like we do. But our kids, you know, this is when the Januaries and the Februaries and the March and the Aprils start to really show itself because of how much dedication our kids have placed in the offseason. And Stephen made a great reference. You know, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, you know, and that's the exciting thing about this game, you know, and that's why you sign up for this duty, to go play against good competition. And you know, it's a great matchup to get this game at home in Western New York, to show people that we can bring big-time college athletic football to this school and to this area is very important. And then we understand that. But none more important than play one to play last. Let's compete every single snap and see what happens at the end of the game. And that's what I'm keep telling our players. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't let the scoreboard decide. We'll dictate and decide as we set the tone.
Coach talked a little bit about Kent State's running game probably being the strength of what they want to do. There have been some holes to run through on your defense in the first 2 weeks. Have you spent a little more time this week in trying to fix that, and what needs to happen for you guys to clamp down and run a little more?
Yeah, you know, the coaches have prepared a very good deal, you know, with this team. We've prepared for them week in and week out, and the coaches they've prepared a very good strategy for this team. We know that they want to run the ball, so we prepare the defense to stop the run. And you know, Coach Lou Tepper, Coach Jappy, all those guys they harped on us a lot, you know, this week on, you know, getting everything in the right, getting everybody in the right spots and getting everybody to do their job. And we just got to hit them hard, and make them not want to run the ball no more.
How have things changed for you within the game? Obviously, the last game you get Khalil back, Colby Way's playing as well as anybody in the conference right now. How is the performance of those players affecting what teams are trying to do to you and your ability to make plays?
You know, you look at it and you say, you know, my freshman year, after my freshman year, team was trying to double team me. Then we get Mac, and then now they doubling Mac, and then now they're gonna start doubling Kobe. And then, you know, they don't really know that much about Sokoli, so Sokoli might have a standout game. But everybody is just, we're all anxious to play, so I don't think that you can double team everybody on the team, you know. But it's definitely helped my level of play, because now, you know, teams start to look away from me, and I'll get to showcase my talent.
Jump into year 3 now, you know, when you look at it, in terms of trying to contend in the conference or becoming bowl eligible, biggest game in your time at UB?
Well, you know, they're all big, and I take it that approach too. You know, I think, you know, when you look back at what happened last year, you know, early in the season when we had a chance to go on the road and take control of one of the top spots in the league, you know, at Ball State, and we let that one slip through our fingers. And that's really why I wanted the mindset for our kids to understand how to finish. You know, it's not one particular thing in year 3 that is more important. No particular game is more important than the next, but this one certainly will pave the way. And I've said that to our football team. You know, this one will pave the way for the season. You know, but that's what it's all about. Everyone's got a first conference game, and the great thing is we've been blessed with a chance to show the country what we've been working on here, and that's what gets you excited about these opportunities. Is, you know, I'm excited about our players, I'm excited about our staff, I'm excited about how well we've prepared. So it is going to be an important game. But, you know, we know there's 7 other MAC games, too, that we have to be, you know, be mindful and conscientious that we have to be ready for. But we want to – it's a fight for a top spot in the league right now, and this one's is big for both teams, and I would fully anticipate a tremendous battle for 4 quarters, and I certainly know our players are geared up for that, and our coaches are too. That's what's exciting about it, and it's going to be right here in our home field, in our home stadium, and everyone gets a chance to see it. So that's what gets your juices flowing. That's what gets me excited. You know, I'm as pumped up as any guy getting ready to go, but I'm not going to play. I'm going to certainly be excited about watching these guys. And I've seen what they've done, and I know what's in their minds and what's in their hearts. And that's what I've tried to work on for going into my 3rd year, is get them to understand how to compete for 60 minutes, not 30, you know, not 40, but 60, and set the tone and set the standards for what our, you know, what we believe will help us compete for 8 games in the MAC, so we can certainly get to where we want to be, because we have not done that yet, and this one will definitely provide us some more insight to where we're at this point.
You have 3 sophomores who are leading your team in tackles: Whitney, Sherry, Jake Stockton, and Lee Skinner. We know a lot about Lee from last year, but are these guys, are this young defenders, are they coming along at the pace you want them to?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, you look at you know, our junior class, our sophomore class. You know, they've really stepped up their play, and you know, I couldn't be more excited. You know, when you graduate a senior, somebody else got to be ready to step in, and that's why you spend so much time. And these guys know I've spent as much time about developing our youth and our younger players in our program, so they are ready to step in when a guy does graduate. We do a lot with our young kids, you know, in terms of all summer long, even during the season. We spend time coaching them on Mondays. When we're done with a game, we do a lot of practicing with them, so they hear our signals and calls and system, so when their chance comes, they're ready to go. And that's a big part of who I am. That's why I tell them all the time, don't ever think you're going to get redshirted before the season as a true freshman. I want you all ready to go. I want you prepared. They sit in on meetings just like our veterans do, and they hear it, and they hear our position coaches, you know, which is a big plus, I think, in terms of getting those kids ready. That's why it's not surprising to me to see a Lee Skinner, a Whitney Sherry, that have really stepped up their play.
How much of a challenge is it to evaluate where you're at, considering Georgia's on such a high level, and then Morgan State is from a lower level, to see where you're at when you have to really play your peers?
You know, and I think it's just, you know, that's, you play a top 10 team in the country, you know, like a Georgia, and, you know, certainly that experience is going to help us, you know, for this type of game, you know. And then we play against Morgan State. I said, you know, it's interesting because I watched Akron put 66 on them, you know, and over 700 yards. But at that time, you know, every week's different, you know. I mean, you look at every single game. You look at Wisconsin, you know, narrowly getting a win out of there, and you see, you know, Louisiana Monroe, I mean, taking Auburn down to the wire, and, you know, but that's the exciting thing about college football. I don't look at what's happened in the past. We learn from each and every single game. And this game is against Kent State. We know who their best statistical playmaking players are. We know their sound fundamental scheme, and we just got to go out there and play and show that we can continue to get better each and every week. And guys like Steven, who have really stepped up their leadership, guys like Zordich, Khalil Mack, Kobe Way, you guys have brought it, the Whitney Sherrys, I mean, I could go on. I feel very good about where our development is with our team. But this one will be, this one's going to be exciting. Wednesday night, you know, 7 o'clock. So this is what we've looked for, and you know, I appreciate that we get that chance to showcase our program.
Steve, you played a few of these over the years. You just talk about the atmosphere and what it's like playing these home games at night and week.
Yeah, you know, this is very exciting. Try not to be as anxious, you know, for the games, but we're definitely ready. But playing a game like this, you know, at home on ESPN, just knowing that you're gonna be on the national watch, it kind of elevates your play to the top. You know, it's either you're gonna peak or you're gonna crumble, and I like to think that we're gonna peak this Wednesday.
Do you have class Wednesday?
No,
Oh, okay.
no class.
But for the team, routine, how will that affect your game day routine? You gotta get up and go, play.
We're not really all that superstitious, so I don't believe it'll affect anybody's game. I feel like, we're gonna go to class, do what we gotta do in the classroom, but everybody's gonna be ready by the time game time comes. It's at 6 o'clock.
Is this game being talked about on campus at all? I mean, you guys are excited because it's ESPN.
Yeah.
And usually students are excited by that too because they can go on and hope that mom sees them at home.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Is there talk about this game like that?
It's a lot of talk about the game. Both, I think for two reasons. Because we won the last game, so a lot of people is real excited about coming out for this one, and because it's on ESPN, they want to be seen on the TV. But yeah, it's talked about on campus. Yeah.